Hi, this is Dr. Gregory, and this is ACC667 Advanced Audit. I wanted to go over some faculty expectations for you in this video. So, a little bit about the course. This course is an advanced course where we're going to focus on forensic accounting, including some internal audits, maybe some operational audits, looking at audit information systems, but we're going to be focusing mainly on frauds and financial schemes. So to me, this is very exciting and a whole lot of fun. So I hope you get as caught up in the excitement as I do. You have an ebooks for your text, and there's going to be some additional readings each week. And I'm going to be posting weekly lectures in your class resources. So be sure that you watch for that. Also, as soon as the class starts, get your access into Gleim for your quizzes. And I'm going to put that in a separate announcement with a step-by-step guide to help you. As I said, we're going to be focusing on forensic accounting. We're going to be doing a lot of deep diving into different standards, different statutes. We're going to look at some fraud schemes. It's going to be kind of fun. For our deliverables during this 8 weeks, we have 16 discussions, 2 each week. You're going to have weekly participation, and be sure that you're participating multiple times, and we'll get into that. You'll have assignments that are case studies and research papers, and you'll have quizzes. Here is a course deliverable schedule I've created for you. Now I'm going to post these PowerPoints in with this announcement so that you can print this out. But as you see, we have a lot of things to cover this term. So time management is going to be really, really important for you. Some of this you already know because this is pretty standard GCU, but I want to review it with you again. Assignments are due 11:59 Arizona time on the due date. We deduct a 10% penalty for each day you're late. So if you anticipate that work schedules are changing or there's something that's come up that you expect that you're going to be late, please reach out to me before the due date and let me know. Simply ask me for an extension and give me a revised submission date that you want to submit your work in. If you don't contact me, I don't know if there's anything wrong. So please don't wait until after the week and then say, I'm going to be late, or the last couple of hours of the day. Let me know ahead of time and we can reschedule. To do that, I want you to call me. And in my welcome video and in my announcements and my contact information, you'll see my phone number. Just give me a call and we'll talk it through. Now, that is the late policy for assignments. Discussions are a bit different. Your initial post is due Friday of each week. We want substantive replies throughout the week, ending on Wednesday of the course week. No late submissions or discussions or responses after Wednesday will be accepted. And the system tracks that for me. So it knows if you've logged in and uploaded your submission by the end of the course week. Quizzes cannot be submitted after the due date without my permission. The system automatically cuts you off from the quizzes. So again, time management is a factor. Let's talk a little bit more about discussions and participations. Think of discussions as if we were in a traditional classroom and I pose a question or I pose a topical idea and I say, let's talk about it. And we raise our hands, we talk to each other, we talk to me, I talk back to you, and we're creating this collaborativeness in the classroom? Well, because we're online, we don't get that advantage. So you need to be able to articulate discussions to me in the classroom and to your peers. Some of these will have minimum word counts. However, I want you to think of that as simply a guideline. You have to be sure that you are articulating the topic well enough so that I can understand it as well as your peers. So it may be more words, and that's okay. Sometimes 2 or 3 paragraphs is sufficient as a discussion. I don't want you to copy and paste substantial parts of your discussion. So if there's a definition for auditing or attestation, don't simply copy and paste that into the discussion post and cite it. All that tells me is you know how to copy and paste. I don't know if you really understand the term. So I want you to synthesize your work, but use citations to support it. Another way that you can show me that you understand the topic is to provide examples or illustrations. And finally, within discussions, we want good academic writing skills, good paragraph development, citing your sources, and making sure that you have your references noted. And let's talk about references. For each discussion, you are required to have a minimum of 2 citations. More is better, but a minimum of 2. One can be your text, but one must be an academic or professional resource. And here I'm going to give you a list of those academic professional resources so that you're very clear about this. Peer-reviewed journals, number 1, the best source you can use. Those could be like the Journal of Accountancy, the CPA Journal, the Horizons Journal, the nonprofit journals. Any of those journals are the best sources for references. The next is industry journals or industry websites, such as the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. They have a website as well as their own magazine. You can look at websites such as the AICPA website, the Corporate Finance Institute, CPA firm sites like Ernst & Young or KPMG. Use your major firms. Even the Institute of Internal Auditors has a really great website. Those are really good, and we consider them to be credible sources because they're written by experts in the industry. So please use those. Another place you can go, fabulous place, is going to be your standards. The AICPA, the FASB, the GASB, IFRS, IRS, standards and websites that you can go to get, again, professional, credible information. The last one I'm noting is the no's. You do not cite these sources ever, ever, ever. Points will be deducted if you do. There is no Wikipedia, no Investopedia, no Technopedia, no Motley Fool, no My Accounting Coach or any other tutorial sites. No Chegg.com, no CourseHero.com, no Scrib.com, no Cron.com. The reason why these are prohibited websites is that they are not vetted by credible sources. Anybody, and these are open sources, so anybody can cite in those sources. Anybody can write in those sources. You don't know if what they're saying is real or not. Some of these sources, like Course Hero, are sources where you can find for a price answers to questions. No, we don't want that. And to let you know, I subscribe to some of those sites too. So I am always on the lookout for that. So let's not even go to these courses. Let's not go to these websites. Let's stick to peer-reviewed journals, industry journals and websites, standards, and you can include what I consider to be the lowest level of credible sources. That's Bloomberg, Reuters, financial magazines. Now that we've got discussions out of the way, let's talk about participation, substantive postings. Again, most of them will have a word count, but I would like to see 2 paragraphs. 150 words is a good paragraph, but you might need 2 paragraphs to completely vet out your response. And remember, use illustrations, use examples in your responses. What I'd like you to try to do is think about this again as if we're talking to each other in the classroom and Sally says something and David says, yes, I agree, and let me expand or extend your thought. So you can expand or extend a specific thought or concept in your response with some additional literature. You can respectfully disagree with literature support. That's okay to disagree with each other. We might find some questions are ethically based questions, and we're all going to come from that from different viewpoints. So it's okay to disagree, but be respectful. Be sure to stay on topic. Don't go off on a different tangent that when I look at that and compare it to who you're responding to, I don't see a connection. So make sure that your response is always aligned to the discussion. Just stating, good job, really liked your post. That was the best example I've seen. You really know your stuff is not acceptable. Put substance into it. And I need 1 citation. It can be from your text or any of those approved sources. As in all of your graduate classes, you must post a minimum of 3 substantive posts over 3 different days. Now, a caveat to that, don't assume that if you post 3 responses, all of them are going to be substantive. I look at each one and consider each one on a case-by-case basis. So I would suggest that you post about 5 or so or more posts. That way, you're likely to have your 3 substantive posts over the week. Now, off to the side here, I've got my grading, and this is the grading rubric I use. You get 20 points if you met the graduate level of 3 substantive posts over 3 days. 15 points, 3 substantive posts, but maybe you didn't do them over 3 days. That's why we want you to post throughout the course week. If you post all 3 on one day, you're not going to get maximum points. And they may not all be substantive. 10 points. You met 2 substantive posts over different days or 2 substantive posts on the same day. 5 points. You met 1 substantive post. 0 means you did not participate or none of your posts were substantive. I will provide feedback in your participation if I can, if I can in Halo. If you have any questions, again, on this, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to walk you through some examples so that you understand this very clearly. Here are my expectations from you. Actively participate from day 1. Get in there. Get your introduction posted. Meet your peers. Get your book. Read through your book, read through your syllabus, make sure that you have a good understanding right away of the course. Ask questions. You can post them in the class questions for everyone's benefit, and there may be some questions that other people have, so don't be shy. You can post them in Halo messages. You can post them by email, or you can call me, or again, you could reach out through Calendly. There are no dumb questions. You're learning new material. I expect there to be questions. And to that, read all of the material. Read your text. Read the accompanying materials. I will be posting lectures for each week, and there may be multiple lectures if there's a lot of material to cover. They're out there for your benefit. Read all feedback. You may get a very good score, but there may be some feedback I give you for continuous improvement. And so please read the feedback. And finally, be curious. This can be a really fun class, so be really curious about it. Now, what can you expect from me? Okay. I am going to be available to you in multiple ways. I will respond to you within 24 hours. I may not have the answer, but I will respond to you and let you know I'm working on it. But likely I should have an answer for you within 24 hours. I will have your work graded within the next week. Usually 3 days, I'll have everything posted to you. I will provide you feedback. Don't worry about that. You're going to get a lot of feedback from me. And finally, I'm going to support you in this class. So work with me to help me help you succeed. Again, let's take a really active participation in this class. Let's have fun and go Lopes. I'll see you in the classroom.